Okay, let us look at these questions here. So these questions they are from BS 1002, okay, the January intake final exam. Okay, so we have 5 questions in this paper. So we are going to try to answer all the 5 questions, okay? So for the sake of time, I've already written the answers, but here I'll be explaining to you how I got those answers. Okay, so the first question here is on spermatogenesis. Okay, so the first question they're saying spermatogenesis is the production of sperm from the primordial germ cells. The process is hormonally controlled and occurs in the testicles. Okay, then the first question here, they're saying, explain the developmental pathway of the sperm. Okay, so they just want you to explain how this sperm is produced. Okay, so I've outlined the steps here. Okay, so when you talk about sperm production or the development of the developmental pathway of the sperm, you're simply talking about what we call as spermatogenesis. Okay, so under this developmental pathway of this sperm, we have 3 main stages. Okay, so the first one is where we are producing spermatogonia, and then we're also producing the primary spermatocytes, these ones here. Okay, so the first step, okay, the first step is the primordial germ cells. Okay, so the primordial germ cells are what we call as the spermatogonia. Okay, so this spermatogonia in the first step, okay, will undergo mitosis. And we know that when something undergoes mitosis, it produces what? 2 offspring. Okay, so this spermatogonia here undergoes mitosis to produce type A and type B what? Spermatogonia. Okay, in short, it divides into 2 by the process of what? Mitosis. Okay, and then the type A spermatogonia, okay, is replenished into the stem cell pool. What does this mean? Okay, it goes back and it becomes a spermatogonia again. Okay, while the type B spermatogonia proceeds to form what we call as the what? The primary spermatocytes. Okay, so maybe I can be drawing it somewhere. So if I have my spermatogonia, this one here, this spermatogonia will undergo mitosis and it will form B here, okay, and it will form A there. So what will happen is that this type A spermatogonia will be replenished and it will go back to the pool and it becomes a spermatogonia again, okay, for the next division to occur. And then what will happen to this type B spermatogonia? Okay, it will proceed and it will form what we call as what? The primary spermatocytes. Okay, so this guy here proceeds, okay, to form what we call as the primary what? Spermatocytes. Okay, so you can say primary spermatocytes here. Okay, and then this primary spermatocyte here, okay, it undergoes 2 divisions, okay? So it undergoes 2 divisions using what we call as meiosis, okay? So that primary spermatocyte will undergo the first meiotic division, okay, to form secondary what? Spermatocytes, okay? Remember, it was a primary, and then when it undergoes this first meiotic division, it forms what we call as the secondary what? Spermatocytes. Okay, and then these secondary spermatocytes, okay, they undergo the second meiotic division to produce what we call as the what? The spermatids. Okay, so these spermatids are the ones that actually mature into the what? The sperm cells. Okay, so from here, if I can continue my this Mica diagram, from this primary spermatocytes, okay, we said the first meiotic division is going to occur. So this one here will be separated into two. Okay, so these two that are formed here are what we are calling as the what? The secondary spermatocytes. So these ones here are formed by the process of what? Meiosis one. Okay, and then these secondary spermatocytes, okay, will undergo a second meiosis, okay, to form these sperms, to form these spermatids here. Okay, these spermatids here. Okay, so this process here that is happening is what we are calling as meiosis what? Meiosis 2. Okay, so from the secondary spermatocytes, these secondary spermatocytes, they undergo meiosis 2, okay, to produce what we are calling as what? Spermatids. So these are spermatids, and you have 4 of them. Okay, you have 4 of them like that. Okay, and then now these spermatids, okay, undergo what we call as spermiogenesis. Okay, so this spermiogenesis is just the process that these spermatids undergo in order to mature and to become the what? The spermatozoa. Okay, spermatozoa is the mature sperm. Okay, so how does it mature? Okay, through morphological changes like the condensation of the nucleus, formation of the acrosome, and develop of the flagellum for what? For swimming. So for this sperm to swim, so you have something like that. Okay, so this category like here is what we are calling as the flagellum. Okay, and then somewhere in front of this sperm here, you develop the what? The acrosome. Okay, so this acrosome here is important to go and break the egg there and then to be able to fertilize it. Okay, so this is the process of what? Spermatogenesis. Okay, so from these spermatids that you can see here, that's where you have your sperms like that. Okay, you have like a sperm like that, another sperm like that, another sperm like that, just like that. Okay, so you need to master this process. So I've written it down for you properly. Here I was just trying to explain it. Okay, so this is the developmental pathway of what? The sperms. Okay, and then let's look at the second question now. Okay, so the second question here, they're saying list and explain the functions of the hormones that stimulate, okay, testosterone. Okay, so let's look at the answers here. Okay, so we are looking at number 2 here. Okay, we are listing and explaining the functions of hormones that stimulate what? Testosterone. Okay, so the first hormone that stimulates testosterone is what we call as the luteinizing hormone. Okay, so this luteinizing hormone is secreted by the anterior pituitary, and it acts on the Leydig cells in the testes, okay, to stimulate the production of what? Testosterone. Okay, and then the second hormone that stimulates testosterone are what we call gonadotropin releasing what? Hormone. Okay, so this gonadotropin releasing hormone, okay, it comes from the hypothalamus, okay, and then it regulates the secretion of what? Luteinizing hormone, okay, thereby controlling the what? The testosterone levels. Remember, we said this luteinizing hormone, okay, acts on the Leydig cells, these ones that are found in the test to stimulate the production, okay? And then what this gonadotropin releasing hormone does is that, okay, it regulates the secretion of this guy here, okay? So if you have a lot of sperms in you, okay, if you have a lot of sperms in you, this gonadotropin hormone will signal, okay, or it will regulate the production of this LH, and then the production of testosterone will reduce like that. Okay, and then the third hormone to consider is what we call as the follicle stimulating hormone, okay, or we can say FSH, okay. So what does this FSH do? Okay, this FSH acts on what we call as the Sotori cells, okay, supporting spermatogenesis indirectly by ensuring an environment that is conducive to testosterone's what? Effects. Okay, and then the fourth one that stimulates the production of testosterone is testosterone itself. Okay, so this testosterone that is produced by the Leydig cells is crucial for the development of the what? Male sexual, male secondary sexual characteristics and spermatogenesis. Okay, so for those boys to start having broad chest, deep voices, okay, they need the testosterone there. Okay, the beards and everything. Okay, so these are the hormones that stimulate testosterone. Okay, and then we look at the other question. So the other question was what now here? We're saying discuss the functions of the fluid that is produced by the bulbo urethral gland. Okay, so what is the function of this fluid that is produced by the bulbo urethral gland? Okay. Okay, so this bulbo urethral gland, or famously known as the Cowper's gland, secretes a clear mucus fluid-like. Okay, so this clear mucus fluid-like, okay, what does it do? Okay, so number one, it lubricates the urethra to stimulate or facilitate the sperm passage during what? Ejaculation. Okay, so it will lubricate the urethra so that the sperm passes nicely when it's coming out like that. And then two, it neutralizes the acidic residues from the urine in the urethra. Okay, so remember that when you're talking about a male, okay, when you're talking about a male, they only have one urethra. Okay, so this urethra, it's the passage for the urine, and it's also the passage for the what? For the sperms or the semen. Okay, so what this fluid that is produced in the Cowper's glands does is that one, it lubricates this urethra, and then two, it neutralizes the acidic residues from the urine. Okay, because at some point this man or this boy, okay, went to urinate. So when he goes to urinate, some of those acidic residue of the urine remains in the urethra. Okay, so what happens in order for those to be neutralized? Okay, they are neutralized by this clear fluid that is produced by the what? By bulbo urethral what? Glands. Okay, so those are the two functions of the fluid from the Cowper's gland. Okay, and then the next question, they're saying define the term capacitation. Okay, so capacity, okay, just the word itself, capacity, should make you like something that pushes you to do something. Okay, so now capacitation in terms of sperms, okay, is defined as this. Okay, so the definition of capacitation is here. So we say capacitation is the physiological process that enables sperm, okay, to undergo the acrosome reaction and penetrate the what? The egg. Okay, so this process occurs in the female reproductive tract and involves membrane changes in the sperm. Okay, so when this is, for example, an egg, and then the sperm is coming like that, okay, so at the head of this sperm here, we have the acrosome, right? Okay, so what happens during this capacitation is that there are some physiological changes, okay, to this acrosome so that this sperm can be able to penetrate this egg and fertilize it. Okay, so that's what capacitation is. You can master the definition. And then the other question there is, apart from influencing the growth of hair, what are the other functions of testosterone? And then they have put 5 marks here. Okay, so it means you have to list about 5 marks, about 5 other functions of what? This testosterone. Okay, so apart from the growth of the hair, so like the beards, the pubic hair, okay, apart from that, what are other functions of testosterone? Okay, I remember I mentioned some, like deepening of the voice. Okay, so let's see what I wrote here. Okay, so the first one I said it stimulates protein synthesis and muscle growth. Okay, especially in boys. Okay, you see that when a boy reaches puberty, they tend to become muscular. Okay, so what causes that is the testosterone. Okay, so one of the functions is to stimulate protein synthesis and muscle growth. Okay, and then the second one is to enhance libido and influence male sexual behavior. So this libido is just the drive to have sex. Okay, so in some men it's abnormal, of course. Yeah, so that libido comes about because of what? This testosterone. Okay, so one of the functions of testosterone is to enhance or to increase what? Libido. Okay, so that you want to experience that sexual pleasure and the like. Okay, and then the third one, the function of this testosterone is to promote red blood cell production by stimulating what? Erythropoiesis. Okay, so this erythropoiesis is just the production of what? Red blood cell. Okay, so that's another function. Then another one is to regulate the development of male reproductive organs during the fetal life. Okay, so when the child is small, like when it's a baby there, okay, the testosterone will help in the development of the what? The male reproductive organs, okay, such as the testes, the penis, just like that, okay. And then number 5, okay, we are saying it maintains bone density by promoting what? Calcium retention. Okay, so these are not the only functions of testosterone, there are a lot, but these are the ones that I listed out. Okay. All right, so we are done with question 1.